UFC Fight Night results following a perfect weekend for Colorado fighters and a whole bunch of new matchup announcements. This is your Colorado MMA News Weekend Wrap-Up. Four Colorado fighters traveled to Las Vegas to compete in another crowdless event, but one that will be very fruitful for all those involved. Austin Thud Hubbard of Elevation Fight Team got the fight action started on Saturday night as he took on the undefeated UFC newcomer Max Rohskopf in the first bout of the evening. Hubbard improved his professional record to 12-4 with an impressive display of defensive grappling and creative striking on the feet. Hubbard scored a second-round TKO win when his opponent didn't answer the bell at the start of the third. With the victory, the Elevation lightweight picked up his second UFC win and the fifth TKO of his professional career. Tecia the Tiny Tornado Torres of Pound for Pound Fitness was the next Colorado fighter to compete on the card, and she put on a great winning performance, ending a 4-fight skid. Torres showed off her well-rounded martial arts skills, outstriking her opponent, Brianna Van Buren, on the feet and defending her opponent's takedown attempts as well. After 3 rounds, it was clear that Torres had won a unanimous decision with her high activity and the consistent pace that she pushed on her opponent. Torres dominated the striking exchanges to pick up her 11th win as a pro and the 7th victory of her UFC career. Fighting on the main card, Raquel Rocky Pennington continued her climb towards a title shot with a convincing win over Marion Renaud in a grinding bantamweight scrap. Pennington used her strength and pressure to wear Renaud down over 3 rounds, exhibiting an effective clinch game, landing knees and elbows inside. Pennington secured the 11th win of her pro career with a grinding, unanimous decision victory. In the main event of the evening, Curtis Razor Blaydes of Elevation Fight Team took on the sharp striker Alexander Volkov in a heavyweight contender bout. Blaydes put on an MMA wrestling clinic, dominating Volkov over 5 rounds, landing heavy ground and pound from the top position and repeatedly taking Volkov down during the 25-minute affair. With the win, Blaydes positions himself as a convincing #1 contender and has good reason to wait for a title shot. So stay tuned and watch out for what's next from the surging heavyweight. And congratulations to all of our Colorado fighters for going 4-0 in Las Vegas. In other local MMA news and in a correction to a past matchup announcement, Nate the Savage Smith of Elevation Fight Team will not fight for LFA next, but will instead get his shot at the big show as he fights on the Dana White Contender Series coming up on August 11th. The 6-0 flyweight will take on the 8-2 JP Young Savage Blaydes, riding a 4-fight win streak coming into the fight. On paper, Blaydes will be one of Smith's toughest tests to date, but Smith is unbeaten as a pro for a reason. With an illustrious amateur wrestling background and an active amateur MMA career, Nate the Savage Smith is riding an 8-fight win streak extending back to his amateur days and will be seeking a statement win to get Dana White's attention and earn a UFC contract against an equally hungry and dangerous opponent. Don't miss this battle of savages coming at you in early August. And in another big fight announcement, in less than a week, Youssef the Moroccan Devils Allah of Factory X will throw down against Jordan the Native Psycho Griffin 18-7 in a clash of featherweights. Zalal is coming off of a successful UFC debut and will be looking to make it 3 wins in a row and 2-0 within the UFC this Saturday night when he takes on the Rufus Sport-trained Jordan Griffin at UFC Fight Night on June 27th. Tune in on ESPN Plus with fights starting at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. In further local fight action, Sparta has announced the date and location of their next fight card, which will be the first one since the pandemic shutdowns and will take place in Cheyenne, Wyoming on July 11th. This past week, the following matchups were announced. JJ Villafuerte vs. Walker Madden in an amateur heavyweight MMA fight. Dylan Penland vs. Mitch Seabold in a 170-pound Muay Thai bout. Mario Rodriguez vs. Josh Taylor in an amateur MMA bout at 145 pounds. Steve Lontine Jr. against Richard Villegas in an amateur MMA bout at 125 pounds. Peyton Hayes vs. Brandon Trout in an amateur MMA fight at 125 pounds, and Chris Lockhart vs. PJ McGee in a Muay Thai bout at 205. Stay tuned for more fight announcements to drop as they become available. And that's your Colorado MMA News Weekend Wrap-Up. Go give these fighters a follow, and while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Prize Fighting Business, follow us on Instagram at Colorado MMA News, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, Corey Mannion.